From the Indian side, Seshadri Chari of the Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP, Maroof Raza, Commodore G.J. Singh from Bengaluru, General G.D. Bakshi. From the Pakistani side, Musharraf Zaidi, former diplomat, Tariq Azim, leader of the PMLN, and Fawad Chaudhry, former advisor to the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Yusuf Raza Gilani, and political analyst. Let's start with you, Fawad. What do you mean Pakistan is not Myanmar? Why are you looking so nervous?
Well, you have, Arnab, I think earlier you have, in the report, you have changed the meanings of tremors and rattled. Pakistan is not rattled. Pakistan has very determined that it's a war. It's not an India versus Pakistan. It's BJP and Narendra Modi's madness versus rest of India and Pakistan. Pakistan stands for the good relations with all the neighbors. But if someone thinks that Pakistan is Burma and Myanmar, he should, I think, look back, and he should know that Pakistan is not Myanmar. If something like this,
but why are you so nervous?
Thought of Pakistan.
But why?
I think you
why?
are nervous.
No, 1 second.
I think you should be
one second.
Only
Fawad,
you should be nervous.
Fawad, hold it, please. Fawad, I understand your trepidation. Anybody would. If what the Indian government has done and what the Indian army has done, a calculated, cold, ruthlessly, brilliantly executed surgical strike, showing not just our military might, but our strategic depth. What we have shown,
I think.
What we have shown,
Fawad, what happened to Indian? What happened to Indian soldiers?
Fawad, this is not
LOC?
Fawad.
I think just go back.
Fawad, we are talking here of a professional army. We are not talking of an army that lives off the crutches of Hafiz Saeed. So what we have shown,
army of Islamic world,
what we have shown here,
biggest professional army
Fawad.
We will show you. We will show you again. We have shown you 65. We will show you again. Don't dare that. Okay. And let's not show the madness of BJP and Narendra Modi. It's not the Indian war. It's not even this madness is not supported in India.
Let me just break down and share with our guests tonight from Islamabad and Lahore the good news of what the Indian Army has done. Which also, by the way, yesterday we had the minister on the program, and he told me, and he's an former army officer himself, he said, we have a very capable leader, we have a very capable army, and if Pakistan attempts such strikes into India, we will strike back at a time, at a place, and at a manner of our choosing. Now that's a different language, Maroof, from what was spoken before. It's a statement of intent. We have shown, Maroof, please now, let Maroof respond. What is it, sir? Don't be so shaken. What we have shown, Maroof, is our ability to be prompt, quick,
the dream was
clinical and lethal. Maroof now. Now please, we can debate this. You can be shaken, but don't reflect it on air. Maroof is responding.
Okay, shaken.
Fawad Sahab, based on some of the points you've made, please give me 2 minutes. The first point that I wish to make, which is often harped on by Pakistanis, that 65 was a victory for you. Please remember, any record of the war shows that you lost more men, more tanks, more territory. Because out of decency, India didn't want to rub you the wrong way. We didn't claim victory, so you have claimed victory in 65. But let's not go into the past. Let's talk of the present. The present is, I certainly agree with you, Fawad Sahab, that Pakistan is not Myanmar. Myanmar, Fawad Sahab, let me speak. Aapne bola, now give me a chance. I agree with you, Pakistan is not Myanmar, but therefore, the danger that is posed to us from Pakistan is far more grave, and we are therefore going to watch the space much more carefully.
Yes.
I'm certainly, and I'll be objective enough to say, that we cannot carry out a similar Burma type raid in Pakistan tomorrow at the drop of a hat.
Thank you very much.
But if the situation so warrants, we've always had the capability. But there was a view in Delhi, we didn't want to escalate situations.
Just forget about it.
Therefore, we showed a lot of control. And so therefore, what I wish to bring across is, Arnab and Mr. Fawad and all the distinguished Pakistani guests, that now there is a new, sir, please hear me, Fawad Sahab, sun to lijiye. What I'm saying is you are now facing a new leadership with a new approach.
You will
and
get a
therefore,
lesson of your life.
please do not
Pakistan
carry the
is not a
assumption.
small country.
Please do not
Pakistan
carry the
army
assumption
is-
that you can
is a
do what you
professional
want
force.
under a nuclear umbrella and get away with it.
Lag pata
Because
jayega.
the Kargil conflict proved beyond doubt, and I'm talking from the memoirs of Clinton, that the Kargil conflict proved that Pakistan and Nawaz Sharif at that state wanted to use the nuclear card and say that we can escalate it to that level. But America said very clearly to you that should you do it, you will be bound to Stone Age.
Your own military
So don't talk of the nuclear angle. I think it will be in your interest. I think it will be in your interest, sir, if you talk of good neighborly relations. Do away with those jihadis who are an asset and a strategic asset for your army. If you don't confront them and you confront terrorism selectively, you are going to continue to face the wrath of the world and now the wrath of the Indian army.
We are not threatening India.
You shouldn't. You can't. You are not in a position to. Because when you try to...
Sir, you have always done that.
One second.
Fawad Sahab, you always threatened India that we will get Kashmir hook or by crook.
They are coming up with the narrations of the facts.
You have used
The point is this.
terrorists as an extension of your foreign policy. You have used terrorism as an extension of your policy. But we'll have to abandon that now.
No, not a single Pakistani Prime Minister or Chief Minister was banned in United States and European Union for terrorism. It's the privilege that
Mr. Fawad Chaudhry, Mr. Fawad Chaudhry, I'd now like you to give some space to your fellow panelists from Islamabad. And I did say to you tonight, Mr.
Don't give us the
Chaudhry.
lessons.
Mr. Chaudhry, I am
Don't
saying
give
to you
us
tonight.
lessons in
Mr.
terrorism.
Chaudhry, I am saying to you tonight that you have every right to be nervous and shaken.
Mr.
Just
Chaudhry,
don't
Arnab,
reflect
I
it
just
so
want to ask
openly
you a
on
quick
television.
question.
My question now.
Chaudhry Sahab, you are saying nobody was banned.
Come on.
Mr. Chaudhry, you say nobody was banned. Why is Hafiz Saeed carrying a bounty on his head? Why is Zikrur Rahman Lakhvi carrying a bounty on his head? And they are both seen to be very close to your military establishment.
I now want to go across.
Why are they carrying bounties on their head if they are good guys?
Okay, Maruf, I now go to Tariq Azim and Musharraf Zaidi and Seshadri Chari and Commodore G.J. Singh. What's it? Fawad Chaudhry. Fawad साहब जरा 2 मिनट
Prime Minister is alleged to be
जरा 2 मिनट दूसरों को भी बोलने फवाद जी आप इतने घबरा गए हैं आज कि आप जरा आराम से बात कीजिए बात सुनिए. You should remember, for example, Musharraf Zaidi and Tariq Azim will well remember that while India lost 527 soldiers in the Kargil conflict, Nawaz Sharif went on record to say Pakistan had lost more than 2,700 soldiers. So Maruf Raza is absolutely right. Your Kargil so-called adventure ended in your national humiliation. You even refused to accept the bodies of your own soldiers. No, this is the history of the matter. No, and by the way, please, sir, the question is to the other guest. Sir, let the other guest respond. Fawad Chaudhry, I know Kargil is your favorite subject. It's also your nightmare. But I'll come to you later. I'm going to Musharraf Zaidi and Tariq Azim. My question to them is, also in January, Mr. Musharraf Zaidi and Tariq Azim, you'd remember how the Narendra Modi government pulverized your army with the massive response to your ceasefire violations. You initiated another series of ceasefire violations. And in response, you know, Tariq Azim and so does Musharraf Zaidi, the nature of the response of the Narendra Modi government that you had to back off. Now on top of it, yesterday's decision to enter Myanmar and completely finish the enemy, along with sending Mi-17 helicopters, is a clear statement of intent. It's a no-nonsense approach. I'd like to get your views on what you think are the lessons from Pakistan from yesterday's attack and why you keep saying today, we are not Myanmar, we are not Myanmar. What's happening in Pakistan?
First of all, Mr. Goswami, let me tell you, we are not rattled. Do we look rattled? I mean, Musharraf Zaidi is sitting next to me. Do we look rattled? We are not. I don't know about you. Let me also come back to you, Mr. Goswami. You remember some years back, I was on your program in India, and I showed you a paper. This is a 1971 November paper, the Times of England, UK. And what does it say? It says undeclared war as Indians Indian army disguised as Makti
can't-
Bahini enter East Pakistan.
You want to go to
This was
71
what
first?
you are there.
No,
At
you
that
want to go to
time-
71 first, then I can
I'm
go
just
to
trying-
71.
I'm just trying.
But why do you say we are not Myanmar?
You remember the program?
No, why have you been saying we are not Myanmar?
Just one second. No. Why
Explain
are
that.
you running away from the subject?
No, the subject right
You
now, I'll
know
go to
that
71
when I
very
showed the
happily.
newspaper in
Tariq
your
Azim,
program
Tariq
in
Azim,
New Delhi,
Tariq Azim, I'll
at
go to
that time you
71.
denied
But
it.
ask,
I'm so
answer
glad.
my question.
I am
Why
so
are you
glad.
saying we
I'm
are
so
not
glad.
Myanmar?
And appreciate Mr. Modi for telling the truth, albeit very late. I hope now he'll also come up and tell the truth about your what you are doing about terrorist activities in our Balochistan.
Mr.
But
Tariq
please,
Azim,
let me
Mr.
also
Tariq
say this
Azim,
at
one
the
point.
same
No,
time.
I need to counter you, Mr. Azim. You made a point, now you must.
War
No, you
rhetoric.
must allow me to counter you, and Seshadri Chari will counter
please,
you. 1 point.
I know you.
One point. No, on 71. On
Answer is
71. On 71.
Your war
On 71.
rhetoric and all
On
that you
71,
go
I
into
need to clarify
is
and
not going to help you.
I need to respond to you
Yeah.
with some facts. What has Modi said, Tariq Azim? The Indian forces and the government
said
of
he
India showed you great
he
mercy.
admitted your
Sir,
state
1 minute.
terrorism,
Let me
your
complete.
role in breaking up of
Sir, 1
Pakistan.
minute, sir. I listen
I'm
to you.
glad that he
Sir,
told
I
the
listen
truth.
to you. I
He told
listen
the
to you.
truth about what he did
I
in
listen to
Gujarat,
you. I
killing of
listen to you.
2,000 Muslims. I'm so glad.
Tariq
Yeah.
Azim, Tariq Azim, please just be democratic and I listen to
Sure.
you. You listen
Please
to
go
me.
ahead. Yes, go ahead. Yes. Yeah, sure.
In the Bangabandhu Convention Center, Narendra Modi said we showed extreme humanitarian concerns and statesmanship in returning Pakistani POWs. We had more than 90,000 of your Pakistani soldiers in your captivity. We showed you mercy, don't forget it. We did not leverage their release. India's involvement in 1971 is not some state secret. It's a fact acknowledged by all. We had to go out there and liberate the people of Bangladesh who were fighting for themselves. Unlike Pakistan in 1999 in the Kargil war, India has neither denied nor hidden its involvement in the 1971 war. So for Pakistan to say today that India has acknowledged its interference is ridiculous, to say the least, Tariq Azim, and I did not expect a senior politician like you to make such a factual error on the program, but Seshadri Chari may want to also respond. Seshadri Chari.
Arnab, the point that I want to make here is, in 1971 we had 90,000 prisoners of war. We returned all the 90,000 prisoners of war. We treated them in a very civil manner. We gave them due consideration on all humanitarian consideration, and we sent them back. The only mistake that India made in 1971 was we did not use these 90,000 prisoners of war as a leverage against claiming India's Pakistan occupied Kashmir area,
Which we should have.
which we could have done.
Yeah.
Which we could have done. Not only that, almost half of Pakistan was under the Indian Army's occupation.
That's right.
We never retained that territory also. We have been magnanimous with Pakistan, and Pakistan unfortunately has not paid us back in the same coin. They have been absolutely uncivilized as far as dealing with us is concerned. They have made terrorism their state policy. But now, let me get back to the debate as far as Myanmar is concerned.
Yeah.
It is true that Pakistan is not Myanmar. Pakistan can never become Myanmar. Myanmar army or the Myanmar government does not support these extremist elements who raided Indian Jawans and killed them. Whereas in the case of Pakistan, all those non-state actors, the so-called non-state actors, are part and parcel of the Pakistani army establishment. This has been proved time and again. Therefore,
But sir, who was
India's
Latif
intention,
Masood and why
India's
Indian
intention,
diplomats
India's intention,
were meeting Latif
India's
Masood and
intention
Taliban
is
people?
not. India's intention.
don't try to be
India's
like
intention
so
is not to threaten
clever.
Pakistan. We want good relations with Pakistan. We want the economic development
Well,
of
at
the
least
region.
Pakistani Prime Minister
But-
is an honorable man.
but remember-
he has not been accused of terrorism himself.
Remember, Islamabad should take a lesson from what India did in Myanmar.
That's right.
If you play
India
with
should take
our
lesson from
security,
it and don't even think
if you
to
play
treat
with
Pakistan
our
like a
security, if you play with our security, you will get back with interest. You will get
So
back
India
with
should
interest.
first take off its hands from Balochistan and TTP and funding
Sir,
TTP. This is the first step India must
Sir,
take.
forget
It's not for
Balochistan.
Pakistan.
Forget Balochistan. Forget Balochistan.
Why forget Balochistan?
A time will come.
And allow India to keep on doing terrorism in Balochistan.
A time will come. The time will come.
The time
when
will never
people of
come.
Balochistan will
remain
approach
integral
India.
part of Pakistan.
People of
and India must
Balochistan will
lay its
approach
hand
India,
off from
and we may have to
Balochistan
liberate
and
Balochistan
stop funding
also.
TTP in Pakistan.
Mr.
India
Fawad,
is in
Mr.
fact
Fawad
funding
Chaudhary.
global
Mr.
terrorism.
Fawad
This
Chaudhary,
funding
Mr.
TTP.
Chaudhary, no, Mr. Chaudhary, let me go across to Musharraf Zaidi. Let us look at it from a realistic perspective. The lessons of history must never be forgotten, Mr. Zaidi. I personally believe, and I'm sure that you do as well. You know what happened to you in Kargil? You know what? You know Nawaz Sharif had to go on record one single sentence, one sentence. You know what Nawaz Sharif went on record and he said that the Indian army just finished and eliminated our entire Northern Light Infantry. That's the strength of the Indian army, a professional fighting force. Why do you want to risk it? And I know you say you're not Myanmar, you can't be, and I agree with Mr. Chari, but will you forget the lessons of history? And why so much nervousness in Pakistan today? Why so much nervousness, Mr. Zaidi, in the kind of reactions we've seen?
May I speak?
Yeah,
Arnab?
go ahead.
Arnab, may I speak?
Go ahead.
I'm very grateful. First of all, salam to all the viewers, especially my Muslim brothers and sisters in India, and also to everybody else in India. You know, Arnab, you have a great role and responsibility, I think, in the future of this great nation that your Prime Minister is helping build. And I think that role has to be that instead of running with the herd and drumming up this nationalist fervor, which is legitimate.
It's a very straightforward question, Mr. Zaidi. My question is, why has everybody come out and said today we are not Myanmar? So answer the question, sir. So you can save all your references about me later. Answer the question. Answer the question, Mr. Zaidi. Yeah.
I think you have a great role in actually not following the herd and actually leading
Mr. Zaidi, can we answer the question today? What happened in Myanmar, as well as our very strong retaliation to your ceasefire violations, in my view, is evidence that this government of India is translating, allow me, I want Mr. Zaidi to answer the question, is translating words into action. And we are merely not merely speaking strongly, we are retaliating hard, Mr. Zaidi.
I want all my friends in India to understand that if you want us to feel nervous, then I'm very nervous.
Mr. Zaidi, answer the question, Mr. Zaidi.
The bigger nation, which
answer the question, Mr. Zaidi.
Then you are the bigger nation, and do you have a stronger military? We'll even say you have big muscles, 56 in chest. MashaAllah, it's very good. Let's now move beyond. Now we've
Mr. Zaidi.
I've accepted India is very great. Very good.
So you're being frivolous right now, which I think is not appropriate.
Compliments to India.
No, answer is not to be frivolous, Mr. Zaidi. I believe you're being frivolous tonight on the program.
Baba.
So I would like to share with you a bit of fact. I'd like to share with you a bit of fact, Mr. Zaidi, because I will not respond to you with frivolousness. For us, it's a serious matter. The South Asia Terrorism Portal. The South Asia Terrorism Portal. Sir, one minute, sir.
Lead away from the herd.
Sir, Mr. Zaidi, you're not answering the question. I think I'm going to... Mr. Zaidi, you see, the South Asia Terrorism Portal states that many Naga groups have received training in Pakistan. That Pakistan embassy officials in Thailand have... allow me now.
This is amazing.
Mr.
Is
Zaidi,
Manipur on the eastern border or the western border?
Zaidi,
or is Myanmar a province of Pakistan now?
Mr. Zaidi, your own former ISI chief,
If
Mr.
it
Asad
rains
Durrani...
tonight in Delhi,
Mr. Zaidi, now, Mr. Zaidi, do you remember a person called Asad Durrani?
Arnab, you're being very
do you know a person called Asad Durrani, Mr. Zaidi? Are you going to be foolish on the program? There's a person called Asad Durrani, ISI chief. Did he not admit...
I'm just going to be the way you are,
Did he not admit, Asad Durrani, in March 2012, pull out your phone or your internet instrument if it works in Pakistan, and tell me today, did your own former ISI chief Asad Durrani, as per reports, admit to meddling in India's northeast during a hearing in the Pakistani Supreme Court in 2012?
All these retired foreign service people, all these retired
He's
generals,
the ISI chief.
have something to do.
He's an ISI chief.
Half of them on your show.
Maroof, he's disowning Asad Durrani tonight.
So let them have their
No, no.
Let them have their post-retirement sort of, moment in the sun. But that doesn't determine state policy on either side of the border.
So you are not going to...
I'm saying Pakistan...
Okay, I'll get Maruf in. Maruf, I find the response pretty frivolous. I'll first like to get...
Well, I'll get
Governor GGS.
Then of course I understand. It's no problem.
Sir,
no problem.
Mr. Zaidi.
Great.
Mr. Zaidi, you must know one thing. At the end of the day, you're presenting a pretty sorry picture on the subject. Commodore
Can you
GGS.
tell these guests to please keep quiet? Yeah, please keep quiet and listen to what I'm saying.
Is that Prime Minister
Please
Modi?
understand, I want to tell my guests from Pakistan that I agree with them that Pakistan is not Myanmar. But please understand that India is not today what it was day before yesterday. Indian Army has been known for its military prowess and for its ability to punish the attacking enemy. And I would like to add here what Dr. Chari has said, that we have given you a choice to develop your own country. And instead, you have started developing the factories of terrorism. Please, if you don't wind up these factories of terrorism, a clear, concise and direct message has gone from the Indian Army yesterday and from the government of India that if you don't do it, we will be forced to dismantle them ourselves. Therefore, I would just request all these Pakistani guests that please get on to the peaceful ways. You have chosen terrorism as an instrument of policy, whereas as per the Simla agreement, you're committed to
when
peace.
When are you guys going to get some new talking
points? We do have
points?
Some outstanding issues.
It's 2015. You're such a big, mashallah, you're, the Narendra Modi, 56 inches.
Mr. Musharraf Zaidi, don't do this comic number, please.
Yes.
It's a program. We're having a serious debate on this. I would request you to remain restricted
no, you're not
to the
having
subject
a serious
of discussion.
Debate,
and by the way, if you're talking of dates, if we are talking of dates, it was Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina Maruf who sought an apology from Hina Rabbani Khan. Fawad Chaudhry knows it. In 2012, over the genocide perpetrated in East Pakistan by the Pakistani army in 1971. And in fact, Sheikh Hasina snubbed Pakistan over the invitation for the D8 summit. You claim your relations are brotherly with Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina gifted Narendra Modi a picture of the 1971 Pakistan army surrender. Fawad Chaudhry. Now, Mr. Zaidi, you'll have to be serious. Now tell me.
Has nothing.
No, tell me. Mr. Fawad Chaudhry, Mr. Zaidi, I'm not coming to you till you're serious on this. And the point is...
Your problem is, Arnab, that you are having a nightmares about Pakistan. And the problem is we can't help you.
Mr.
The
Fawad
problem
Chaudhry.
is that there is a class in India that is held by Mr. Narendra Modi now since he is in power, and people like Arnab and Narendra Modi and some of his cabinet leaders who are basically now have
Mr. Fawad Chaudhry, in December 2013,
each and every country in the region.
In December 2000, I'm only giving you the story of how isolated you've become, sir. I'm telling you the story of how isolated you've become.
In fact,
every country in the region.
India has a problem that Pakistan and China are making such a huge regional cooperation, and this whole thing what you are trying to now build is in fact against the China and Pakistan's relationship, which we have entered into a new era. And in fact, this is something which Indian leadership is trembling of now, and you know that Pakistan and China are the next superpower of this region.
That's all right. You can have any delusions that you want. But I'd like to go back to the subject, Maru, because it yes, Seshadri Chari, please. Yes, Seshadri Chari.
Arnab, can
Seshadri Chari.
Arnab, I think if you want to have a serious discussion on this issue, you will have to really tell our Pakistani guests to be more serious and not act like their own ISI and other agencies in their country. We are not here to threaten Pakistan.
Only you are allowed to act as Narendra Modi.
We want good relations with Pakistan. and we want the development
Thank
of that
you.
country
You
also.
do understand. You
and
do.
underdeveloped Pakistan is a big blot on this region. But we cannot
And
wait till
underdeveloped India
eternity.
is also a big blot on the region.
We cannot wait till eternity. We cannot wait till eternity. Therefore, if you are a little more serious, behave like grown-up
Yes,
boys.
be serious on the slums
Don't
of
behave
Bombay and
like
Delhi
a
also,
childish
please.
person in this TV
Also look at
debate.
Bihar. Also look
if
at
you
Maoists.
don't, if you don't behave,
just care for
if you
Pakistan,
don't
care
behave,
for your own
if you
people
don't
first.
behave, you will not even get
are
a
behaving.
warning. You will not even get a warning. Please remember, at
Tariq
least
Azim,
with
Tariq
Myanmar,
Azim.
we have got a relationship. We have got a treaty
That's
with
not
Myanmar. And you have not learnt a lesson. This is not the first time that India has acted against terrorists. We did this with Bhutan.
But you act
we
like
had
it's
an
the first
understanding
time.
with Bhutan.
You act like you're a
and
16-year-old
we
that just
had
went
an
on their first
understanding
date.
with Bhutan,
The whole
and
country
we
is
have
awash in
liquidated some of the
celebration
worst
that you went
terrorist
and killed some
activities in
terrorists.
Bhutan.
You should have more pride.
Now we have done it
India
in
should
Myanmar.
have much more pride.
We did not
It's a
go
very
and
big country,
attack.
Baba. I
We
don't
did not
understand
go and
why you
attack
guys are
them.
so insecure.
They-
well done.
they
You took
mounted
out
an
the
attack
terrorists.
on
Very
us,
good. Very
and we
good for you.
retaliated.
You elected
Now,
I think
if
Mr. Zaidi,
Pakistan
great
ever
show.
tries to
It
do
was a
the same
wonderful
trick
show
on
in
us,
Sydney and
this
at
is
Madison
the
Square
warning for
Garden.
you.
Very good.
That
but what's your
at
problem,
least in the
yaar?
case of
This is
Burma, at least in the case of Myanmar, we took their permission. In your
very
case,
disappointing.
we
I
will
thought
not
India
wait
was
to
the next
take
big
your
superpower,
permission.
But you're acting like a small.
Tariq Azim, can I come to Tariq Azim, please? Tariq Azim, you see, when governments act and when governments speak, when armies act and when governments speak, they are not just, blank and hollow statements. And as you may have very well observed, Mr. Azim, the Narendra Modi government is not just speaking, it is acting. It acted in January in the counter-strikes. I'm just laying it out. Every strategic expert knows the degree to which India pulverized Pakistan with the counter-strikes. And many people believe in India, this is the only way to respond to the Pakistanis. You carry out infiltrations, you attack even one Indian village, we will attack more places in Pakistan, and that is the response that Pakistan deserves, should it choose to make civilian casualties
Why are
in
you so
India.
angry,
No,
Arnab?
1 second, sir. Please, Mr. Zaidi, now my question is to Mr. Tariq Azim. I want to draw him into the discussion along with Maruf and with Seshadri Chari. The question is this, sir. What has happened in Myanmar?
Mr. Goswami.
What, no, just a question, sir, and then you can answer. What has happened in Myanmar
sure.
is a clear and followed by the open government on the record statement yesterday. I had the minister on the program. The message is to Pakistan, because the ISI has been aiding insurgent outfits in the northeast, it has at the same time been very actively supporting all the groups in Jammu and Kashmir. Destroying terror safe havens in Myanmar is a message to you, sir, as in to your army, to keep off your designs, to bleed India through 1,000 cuts. And all you need to do to start that process is say the cycle of ceasefire violations that you initiate simply cannot continue. What we are telling you is that the cost, the military cost, the national cost of adventurism on your part will be very expensive. The tolerance won't exist. The patience levels in India are very low. Mr. Tariq Azim, that is simply the point that Seshadri Chari was also making to you. Will that lesson be completely lost, despite all the bravado that you might put up? Yes, sir.
Mr. Goswami, if you finish your lecture, let's start a debate now.
I have made a very
Now, you
pertinent
have said
observation.
that
You may respond.
Okay, all right. We have said time and again, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, when he went on the oath-taking ceremony of Mr. Modi, he was criticized here at home that he should not go there because it will be taken as a sign that you are going to play ball with somebody who has past has been tarnished, and I don't want to go into detail, and you know it. We have always said that we will not accept India's hegemony. And we have always said that war is no longer an option. Only solution of problems through talks is the only way down. Now, we must also accept that if you think that by going and killing 18 odd people, crossing a international border, does not mean that you can come and threaten every other person, every other state in this region. We will not accept the hegemony. We will accept and we will maintain.
Sir, in South Asia, we will work with every South Asian country, and all South Asian countries principally have a problem with you. Seshadri Chari responding to Seshadri Chari.
We want
Seshadri Chari
India
responding.
has never said it.
Existence with all our neighbors.
Mr. Tariq Aziz,
but we will
Mr.
not.
Tariq Aziz.
We will not listen to your.
Mr.
Aziz Saab, let me put the record straight.
We will not be.
Aziz Saab, let me Aziz Saab, let me put the record straight. Aziz Saab, let me put the record straight. New Delhi never said
Give me
this.
20 seconds,
We are
please.
not saying.
I can understand.
We
your
are not
desperation,
saying.
what's happening
Aziz
in
Saab,
Kashmir. What's happening in Kashmir.
Aziz
You're
Saab,
worried
we
about
are
what's
not-
happening
we
with
are not
our relationship
saying-
with
we are
China.
not saying
I can
this.
understand the desperation.
Aziz Saab, time and again, your own
please
leaders
go ahead.
have said that terrorism is one of the biggest problems for Pakistan. If you go through your own national security policy, which you declared in 2012 and which you amended in 2013, your own Pakistan's internal security policy specifically states that terrorism is one of the biggest issues that Pakistan is facing today. And this terrorism, if you cannot control terrorism, all that we are saying is it is your private business. Check your terrorism, control terrorism, liquidate the terrorist organizations in your country, it is in your own good. But if you are unable to do it,
I think maybe the
and
news
if
reaches India
and
very
if those
late.
organizations
I mean, you have
dabble
not
with
heard
our
what the
internal
army is doing to the
security,
terrorists here in Pakistan. I'm sorry to say, you are totally ignoring all the facts.
If your non-state actors become a threat to our security, we cannot keep quiet.
The point
We
is
will
that
have to
GD
take
Bakshi now
action,
comes into the debate. General
and
Bakshi
we
is
will
joining
take a
us.
strong action.
General
non-state
Fawad,
have become threat to Pakistan.
Fawad, understand. Fawad Chaudhry, understand. We understand your predicament. We understand your compulsions. We understand the fact that you have an unprofessional army that depends on terrorists. That is your problem. You chose to make it that way. Now the fact of the matter is what we've said yesterday in an official, our official response now is, General Bakshi will come in. Our official response is now that we keep our options open. If you are friendly, we'll be very friendly with you. But if you choose to be aggressive, if you choose to be aggressive,
all right, my friend.
if you choose to be aggressive, you will face serious military aggression on the other side. Don't say you were not warned. Essentially what the government of India is saying today, you have been warned, and this government will act, and you know the Modi government will act.
India under Mr.
This government will act.
Policies, you are supporting terrorism.
You know what happened after Kargil. General Bakshi, please. General Bakshi. General Bakshi.
Dual policies.
General Bakshi. General
You know,
Bakshi.
Arnab,
It's okay. Fawad, calm
I
down.
would like to state,
And Mr.
I would, Mr. Pawar, can you
Fawad
kindly
Chaudhry,
give me a
please.
chance?
Despite all the
Can I kindly
And
speak?
this is something every Indian feels. This is what
Okay.
every Indian
I know,
objects to
Arnab,
Mr.
I would
Modi's
like to state
policies to make
that-
India a Hindu country.
For Fawad Chaudhry, we sympathize with
Okay,
you, but you
thank
must
you.
understand General
Now,
Bakshi's statement. The
Arnab,
situation is
Arnab,
precarious
I
for
wanted
you.
to
Do not
state-
support Mr.
Fawad
Arnab,
Chaudhry,
I
it's a
wanted
serious
to
matter.
say-
In no other
Any
state,
other
political
terrorist
party in India
state,
even supports
please
Mr.
understand,
Narendra Modi.
any other terrorist state, when a larger, stronger, one second, General Bakshi, before you come in,
as well as Indian people are threatened by Mr. Narendra
Fawad,
Modi's
please
policies.
understand this. When a larger, stronger, more powerful country
And
gives
this
you a
cabinet
last
of Mr.
warning,
Narendra
gives you a
Modi
last
is just
warning,
bunch of
the
bad
message should
cows.
not be lost. As I said before, do not repeat the lessons of history. In 1971, we were very good to you. We returned your 90,000 men. The next time we may not. Don't forget that. We showed you mercy. You lived off our mercy in 1971. Don't forget the mercy we showed you.
You don't have that
Mercy will not be
option.
repeated endlessly.
Arnab,
GD Bakshi is
Arnab.
responding now. GD Bakshi.
It may be otherwise.
GD Bakshi, please. GD Bakshi,
Arnab,
please.
I would like to state that we have sent a clear
like you
and
want a bloodshed in
unambiguous
subcontinent,
message by
unfortunately.
the Myanmar operation. We have said
People like you
that
support
Indians are not for
bleeding
killing.
on the-
Please listen to me, for God's sake.
Unfortunately.
I mean, this is atrocious manners. Listen to the other side.
You guys are
Listen to the other side, my friend.
You guys
Listen
are
to
supporting
what
trade
I'm
in
saying.
Pakistan. You are on a mission.
Oh,
You are on
listen,
a
for
mission
God's
to
sake, don't
create
put on a
violent
tape
situation
recorder.
on India and Pakistan border. This is so unfortunate.
Fawad, you
All
have been
right,
warned.
thank you,
Listen to
thank
the general.
you.
This is
Thank you.
experienced
Can
Indian
I
Army
now
general
kindly
talking.
have my say?
And this journal is
Okay.
mad journal.
Arnab,
Everyone
we
knows
have
the
sent
noise
an
views. He always
unequivocal
come up with the
message.
same line every minute.
Oh, for God's sake. You know, Arnab, we have sent a clear, unequivocal message that Indians are not for killing. Since 1980, the Pakistani ISI started sponsoring terrorism in Punjab. We lost 21,000 people there. Then for 20 years, you troubled us in J&K. Today, we have sent you when we lost another 44,000 people. Today, we have told you that if any more Indian civilians are killed, if any more Indian military men are killed, there will be a price to pay. And those who carry out these killings cannot simply cross over a border and assume that they are safe. We will bring them to justice.
Remember,
that is the message which has been sent out, and it has you and your leadership rattled. It has you and your leadership rattled.
Fawad, remember,
to the Indian sponsored
Fawad, remember, each time you have provoked the larger country, we have fought you back and made you crawl back into your holes. You talk about 1971 when India was forced to cross the international border after your failed attempt to incite a rebellion in Kashmir due to Operation Gibraltar. We have not forgotten what you tried to do during Operation Gibraltar. The rest is history. I think Maruf can educate you on what happened in 65 and 71. You provoke us, we will hit you back, and this government has gone on record. Anyone who follows the Narendra Modi government, and don't you dare to speak a word against an elected Indian Prime Minister. Don't you dare to speak a word against an Indian elected Prime Minister, because I'm not speaking against yours. But I will say this to you, that the lessons of history should not be forgotten to you. Maruf and Air Commodore GJ Singh, why are the Pakistanis not getting the message? Anyone who observes the statements of this government would know. This government does not make a comment unless there's a larger message to be sent.
It's really disappointing.
Commodore, please.
Your tongue and then listen to me.
Many young
May I request
people in India.
What kind of people are you? You want blood on your Pakistan?
We are telling you to maintain the peace, because we will as well then.
You are just what Hinduata.
We are telling you to maintain the peace.
You are Hindu country.
I want to.
This is not.
We want you to maintain the peace. We want you to maintain the peace. If you don't maintain the peace, you'll pay the consequences. This is what the government has said. Commodore GJ Singh.
You have to let.
No, I just want to tell.
Otherwise,
I just want to tell Chaudhry, pay attention here. Pay attention. I'm going to tell you something for your good. Please go and lecture to your army chief. Raheel
Keep your voice
Sharif.
low, sir. Keep your voice low.
Now, why should you go there? You go and tell him that he should stop that Zarbe Azab, that army operation which he started against North Waziristan, and which is responsible for killing hundreds of your children in Peshawar.
Have a glass of water.
Don't forget
first, please.
that your army chief is responsible for that Zarbe Azab army offensive against North Waziristan, and they have taken a revenge by killing hundreds of your children. Please go and give lessons to your army rather than giving it to the Prime Minister of India or giving it to the Indian army.
I want to give you one advice.
I will
have
just
a glass of water and calm down.
Chaudhry, I'm okay. I just want to tell you as a good friend that please go and tell your army chief who is responsible for that Zarbe Azab which he promised you that he'll finish off the army operation which was launched in North Waziristan, and they killed hundreds of your children. You please go and tell him. Give this kind of lectures to your army, not to the Indian.
Why don't you have water around? We have water here.
Fawad Chaudhry, please. Fawad Chaudhry, it is an established fact. It is an established fact what happened in 71 to you. I think Maruf, if I look at
terrorism in Pakistan.
Sir, it is not our problem. You see, there are two things which have happened. You have got needled by the fact, sir, you've got needled by the fact that the memories of 1971 have come back. I'd like to get Maruf into this and Seshadri Chari. The memories
It's
of
not
1971
it's
came back.
2015.
Can I please, Mr.
And that has a political reason.
Mr.
That's a
Tariq
long
Azim.
story.
Mr.
It's not a
Azim,
one-liner that Indian
Fawad,
army
hold
came
back
and
now.
conquered and got
Fawad, hold back. Don't go on now, please. Understand this.
Huge political
I began
Arnab,
by
you'll
saying
have-
that I admit that you are not Myanmar because Myanmar is not a collaborator in terror. You are.
In the history
Myanmar does not have five-star terrorists. You do. So there's a world of difference between Myanmar and you. In fact, I think you should learn a few lessons from Myanmar. But tell me, Tariq Azim, tell me, why does 1971 hurt you so much? If the lessons of
Arnab,
1971 are any, you should take the lessons of 1971 with the warning of 2015. The lessons of 1971 and the warning of the Narendra Modi government in 2015. Do not force this situation again. We want to maintain the peace with you, but this is much like a final warning that has been given to you, Tariq Azim. Anyone else would have read the message, Tariq Azim.
The lesson Arnab.
Anyone else would have learned the message. I thought you were a reasonable man.
Yes, I am a reasonable man, and that's why I'm going to talk reasonably. I learned a lesson that what an aggressive neighbor we have. Despite all our talk of peace with you, you still come up with a provocative statement. But despite all the provocation, despite all the war rhetoric, we'll still talk peace with you. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has said time and again that we want all our neighbors and all of us to live peacefully with each other. War is no longer an option, and I think nobody knows that better than Colonel Rathore, who made that statement today. He should know it. If you want to get on to adventurism,
I'm glad that you're pulling back.
Can happen, and
I'm glad that you're pulling back. You seem to be a realist. Tariq Azim, I compliment you. Unlike Fawad Chaudhry, you seem to be a realist.
We've always talked peace.
Make you feel,
and we'll continue talking peace. We'll continue talking peace.
Inshallah, absolutely. We're a peaceful nation, not an aggressive nation.
Exactly. But Maruf, can we take the Pakistanis on their word?
Guests have behaved tonight.
Maruf, can we take the Pakistanis on their word?
All they have said is talk.
Arnab, if they are going...
All war-mongering terrorists...
There's no war-mongering. I'll repeat the comments. I'll repeat the comments. Tariq Azim, you tell me where is the warmongering. I'll repeat what the government of India has said. The government of India has said, let me repeat the words to you. You tell me what is warmongering. The government of India has said, we will always be friendly towards countries. One second. But when required, India will carry out strikes. And we will strike at the heart of the enemy if required. We have a very capable army. We have a very capable leader. We have both now. We will strike back if required at the time and place and manner of our choosing. Now, where's the warmongering here?
We have a very
where is the warmongering? Maruf, is there any warmongering in this? Where's the warmongering here? Maruf.
Very capable.
This whole show is...
I see no warmongering in this, Maruf.
Defend our land.
If they allow us to speak...
We hope that it doesn't come to that.
I've been sitting quietly...
It doesn't come to that.
Maruf.
We'll still keep talking peace. We still keep talking peace
Azim
despite your provocation. We'll still talk
Azim
peace.
Azim Saab.
Yes.
Azim Saab.
Go ahead.
Azim Saab. Arnab, if the Pakistani guests will give me 2 minutes to speak, I just want to make two broad points.
Please.
The first point is based on Mr. Azim's earlier statement about the fact that India initiated the war in Bangladesh. I just want to remind Pakistani viewers on 3 points of Bangladesh. One is Yahya Khan's statement to the army in East Pakistan that kill 3 million of them and they will eat out of your hand. This is the recorded statement of March 71.
Shameful.
The second is the Hamidur Rahman Commission report, which Pakistan kept under wraps, which was an embarrassment to them about what their army did. And the third is, sir, meri baat sun lijiye, sir. The third is, if you go to Dhaka Club even now and walk up the steps to the upper part of the building, the whole staircase is lined with photographs of your genocide. So please don't tell us that we started the war. It was a consequence of what you started and we got involved. Now the second point is Mr. Fawad Chaudhry has very aggressively again and again tried to remind us of our role in Balochistan. It is based on one article written by Christine Fair in Foreign Affairs Journal in which she talked about Indian consulates arming the Baloch rebels. But in the same article, sir,
it is based on the
Fawad Saab, sun lijiye dusre ki baat, you've been speaking through the show. Sir, please hear me out. please hear me out. You speak a lot. You speak a lot, and you've proven to us that you were rightfully the spokesperson of the last Prime Minister. But learn to hear somebody else. The same article, she also says that Pakistanis lie so much that it's difficult to believe them when they tell you the truth. So let me tell you a simple fact of life, that as Mr. Tariq Azim has been going on, that let us build bridges, and you talk of building bridges, but to start with, dismantle your terror networks. You do not want to abandon your tryst with terror. You do not want to abandon those terror people who are the extension of your army. And then you try and tell us that you want good relations. Nawaz Sharif may want good relations. Nawaz Sharif may be a peaceful man, but your military establishment does not want good relations with us. Because if they have good relations with us, they will go out of business. Now, Mr. Fawad, if they have good relations with us, your military will go out of business. That is the reality of your state. You are a state which is ruled by the military. The political establishment is incidental. And don't bring communalism into it.
Go ahead.
Because in my part of the world, we don't give two hoots about your interpretation of Islam. You are an embarrassment to the world and to the Islamic community. So don't lecture us on Islam.
All the minorities
Fawad Chaudhary,
that they are insecure.
Oh, to hell with you. Minorities in your country. You could not keep Bangladesh together. Fawad Saab, you could not keep Bangladesh together. You cannot keep the Shias together. You cannot keep the Ahmadiyas together. You could not keep the Ismailis together. What are you lecturing us on Islam?
The point is this.
Apni shakal dekhiye jaake sheeshe mein.
The point is this. I get a feeling. I get a very strong sense. I get a very strong sense. I get a very strong sense tonight that whether a Pakistani gets accepted or not, the warning of the Indian government following the actions of the Indian army, the message has been delivered in Rawalpindi. They may not admit it, but the message has been delivered. Seshadri Chand.
And the answer has also
Fawad
been delivered. Go and see that
the only lesson that Islamabad seems to learn, only lesson that Islamabad has learned from Myanmar operation is that they refuse to learn lessons, and they will have to pay a very heavy price for it.
Tariq Azim, there is still time. Tariq Azim, there is still time. Maybe you should take the message to your government.
Arnab, stop coming to me, by the way.
Mr. Zaidi, if you were serious, I would have come to you more often.
Impressionable minds of very, very,
Arnab, can I come in?
important viewers. Your country has 70% young people. They're watching this show and they look up to you, Arnab.
Mr. Zaidi, young people watching this program, young Indians have not forgotten the butchery of 26/11. And young Indians would also like to tell you, Mr. Zaidi, young Indians would also like to tell you, we have put up with your terrorism enough. Our government has sent you a message, Mr. Zaidi. Why don't you get the message, sir? Why don't you get the message? I thank you all very much for joining me on this debate on the News Hour tonight. Get the message, sir. Thank you.